Good morning, good evening, and welcome to the World of Jumanji. Deny the fact that that was absolutely rubbish. The World of Jumanji is Chessington's latest addition here to the park, and it includes 3 different rides, including a major B&M coaster, the first of its kind in the whole world. It's a wing shuttle coaster, and it's right here at Chessington World of Adventures. I'm going to get on that today, do my full review, alongside the 2 other rides in this area, Ostrich Stampede and also Mamba Strike. So with all that said, I'm not going to waste your time, let's get straight into the area and check out what the World of Jumanji has to offer here at Chessington World of Adventures. Here is the front entrance to the World of Jumanji, and you can see the huge logo there, and also the green B&M box style track, which is Mandrill Mayhem. The coaster in this area, it's a wing coaster, as I said earlier, similar to the Swarm. However, with this coaster, you go forwards through the course of the layout, up the main spike, and then come back round and do the whole layout backwards. And actually on the back of the train, they've got a backwards seat as well. So I'll try and get that today. However, it's a bit of a tricky process to do that, and I'll explain a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, there's the sign, and it's absolutely huge. And here is the World of Jumanji in its full form. I mean, it's crazy to think that just a few months ago, this was a construction site, all construction vehicles, diggers, and before that, before they even came to the plans of the World of Jumanji, this was literally just a field here. You had a sand pit over to the left, and now it's been transformed into a fully themed area with 3 different rides. And just to the left of me here, you can see the drummers, which were drumming earlier, some area entertainment, or music. And there goes the coaster in the background at the main spike. Wow. It looks even better in person than it does online. And just to the right, you've got Ostrich Stampede, which is the flat ride in this area. We'll try that out a little bit later on. I'll tell you what, it's perfect weather here for the opening of the World of Jumanji as Mandrel Mayhem flies through its coaster course. But I just wanted to show you how you technically don't have the queue for Mandrel Mayhem because of the clever ride and reserve system that Chessington have implemented for this ride. Now, as you can see, I've gone to rideandreserve.com at Chessington, and you can see here all the different rides that you can reserve and ride. Of course, you have to pay for ones such as Dragon's Fury and Cobra, but because Chessington are essentially forcing you to virtual queue for Mandrel Mayhem, you can't just join the line at the time of recording. You just click Mandrel Mayhem just here, you put how many guests you have with you, you can go up to 6, and then you wait the estimated time here in the corner. I've got to wait 21 minutes until I can join the physical queue for Mandrel Mayhem. But yeah, really clever system. Once that time's up and it goes to 0, you can head over to the main entrance. They'll scan the QR code that pops up, and yeah, you can head into the main physical line. And what this does, it eliminates the actual physical queue that you have to wait for the ride. So while you're waiting for this, you can go and do other attractions in the World of Jumanji, get some food, or you can even go out this area and do rides such as Rattlesnake and also Dragon's Fury, which is a very clever system. And as well as that, you don't just get it once, you can basically ride and reserve as many times as you want to go on Mandrel Mayhem in a day. But yeah, that's just for Mandrel Mayhem. Rides such as Ostrich Stampede and Mamba Strike don't have the virtual ride queuing system at the minute. Other rides here at Chessington do, however they are an upcharge. But a nice little system that they've implemented for Mandrel Mayhem. If you do have a ride access pass, unfortunately at the time of recording this video, you can only go on Mandrel Mayhem once, which is interesting by Chessington. But yes, it looks like it's still got a little bit of a queue out there, but it eliminates the queue that it would have been if they didn't have the virtual queuing system in place. We'll get the coaster going around just here in a second, I think. But yeah, I'll wait my 20 minutes and then I'll head on Mandrel Mayhem. I'm so excited. There's a B&M coaster here at Chessington World of Adventures, here for the opening day. It's not too busy actually, considering it's opening. I mean, you look around and you think, you know, there's not too many people here. Maybe they're all in the queue for Mandrel Mayhem. I don't blame them. Looks like a fantastic ride. You can see the Jaguar Shrine just there. But with all that said, let's get straight in the queue and head on Mandrel Mayhem. So here we go, the QR code is live and it's time to ride Mandrel Mayhem. So yeah, you scan the QR code and we're straight into the main queue line for Mandrel Mayhem. And yeah, it did say, well, they have been saying Chessington for the past few days that you can only book 1 virtual queue place, but I've managed to book 2 today. I've just booked 1 now, so not too sure whether that's a glitch with mine or they're actually letting you book more than 1 slot. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the queue line's really nice in here. You've got all the fencing, and people have been saying that they should have had wood here. I don't think so, because knowing Merlin, they wouldn't keep up with the wood and it'll rot over time. And I quite like the metal fencing, it goes quite well. And you've got the huge Jaguar shrine just there, which looks really nice. And all these boards with the characters on their strengths. That's Kevin Hart, because he can't have cake in the movie, can he? But yeah, this coaster looks really nice. You get great views of the Jaguar shrine here from in the queue. Got all the audio playing, which was by Sony and Chessington, which is good. And yeah, I really like the floor as well. Once again, the floor geek is coming out. I really like the floor here, they've done a good job. And that's actually around Chessington this season. They've redone a lot of their tarmac in. In this area, it's like a spongy sort of floor. Quite interesting actually, I feel like I could hop in this queue. But yeah, here's a close-up of the other launch, the other little boost that you get before heading up to the Jaguar Shrine, and also when you go back down there backwards as well. Yeah, you can see here that system, the launch mechanism, and they've got loads of bushes and trees in the queue line, and yeah, it looks really nice. There's the station, so we haven't got to queue too long, just around here. It's basically straight from here and then round to the station. So I've just been on Mandrel Mayhem, and wow, I'll explain all my thoughts after I take a little look in the shop. And you exit into this shop after you've been on the on Mandrel Mayhem. Look at all the teddies here, all the different themed characters. Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, and yeah, her. Don't know what her name is. But yeah, look at all these mugs here with the snake going round. You've got a little handle, that looks really nice. How much is that? £15 there, and of course you've got the Merlin discount, 10% or 20% depending what pass you have. You've got these mugs here that Merlin are introducing all around their theme parks. I think the first part to get these sort of mugs was Thorpe Park actually. How much are those? £15 again. So it's £15 for those mugs and those mugs. I'd personally go for this mug. This mug looks much better. Mugs looks much better. Mugs look much better. Mugs look much better. You've got the snake as the handle there, which looks really nice as well. What I really like is these bags here. These are £20, and yeah, they're a World of Jumanji bag. You've got the zip there with the Chessington logo on. That looks really nice. And inside you've got like a laptop with a compartment as well, which is quite nice. You've got your general bottles here, just with the printed logo on. They're £15 as well. Lots of £15 around here. And then you've got the clothing range, the World of Jumanji. What are these, like jackets, I guess? Yeah, just the World of Jumanji. Nothing on the back here. They're £35. About to pay 15 then. Jumper, shirt. Yeah, this is quite adventure-y. How much is that? No price unfortunately. Oh, there, £40 for that. Not too bad. And then you've got all the printed stuff here, just with the printed logos on. Little bits and bobs there, little teddies. You've got the big teddies here, the Ostrich Stampede. We'll go and check that out a little bit later on. All your stationery and bits and bobs around here. And you can also buy ride photos. But yeah, really nice station here. That's all the smoke coming from Mandrill Mayhem just there. But yeah, really nice. You can buy the board game as well. But yeah, really nice in this area. It's called the bazaar area, and you exit this way. And yeah, to the right you've got Mamba Strike there, and also to the left you've got different games. We'll have a quick look at these now actually. Here we are then in the bazaar. You saw a bit of it then from the exit of Mandrel Mayhem, and yeah, nice how they haven't just covered that over. It's a nice open shop, just like a bazaar would be. Here you've got some classic sort of arcade games that have been nicely themed in, with all the rockwork, test your strength games they are. But yeah, all the classic theme park games, but the buildings are all really nicely themed. All the wood as well, which looks nice. Bit covered over as well. But yeah, you've got loads of props and theming around here. And just there you can see a Mamba Strike, the Miami Top Dancer ride with the Mamba at the back. We'll check that out a little bit later on, after I explain my thoughts on Mandrel Mayhem, because that coaster was absolutely brilliant. So I'll explain an in detail review in the next few moments. But yeah, you've got all the Coke freestyle machines, which once again are really nicely themed in. And you've got this truck here, which unfortunately is temporary. It's only going to be here on the opening day, which is the Monday today. And yeah, this will be gone, which is a bit unfortunate. A really nice theming piece. Shame that they're going to take it away. I mean, it looks really nice here. Hopefully, I hope Chessington come to their senses and keep this in the area. This is a really nice photo opportunity as well. Yeah, there's the queue for Mandrel Mayhem. Just there, and the station as well. And there you got all this theming and props. Coca-Cola. Who doesn't like a Coke on a nice sunny day? Saying that, the sun has actually gone in now, but I'll explain my full thoughts on Mandrel Mayhem next. So I've just been on Mandrill Mayhem, the main roller coaster in the World of Jumanji, and that was a really good roller coaster. You can't fault it really. It's perfect here at Chessington. I'll start off by entering the station, and unfortunately you can't actually stand by the air gates for some reason. I believe it's because of the launch of the coaster being inside the station. You can't stand there, which is a bit, you know, not very good, because really you've got one train on that coaster and you can't even stand by the air gates so that you're ready as soon as they open to get straight on the train, check your restraints, put your seatbelt in. You have to wait sort of in the normal queue and they'll let you through, then they're really rushing you to get on because of course it only runs one train, the throughput isn't great. And to be fair to all the staff members on Mandrel Mayhem, they're doing a top-notch job getting people in, strapping them down, sending the train as quickly as possible. Earlier the ride was having a few technical delays. It's all to be expected with its opening day. But yeah, really good. Can't fault the ride team on there. But I really hope that they can fix that air gate situation, maybe make them taller so that we can stand in the air gate bays, because it will make it a lot quicker for the staff and the team already. Because they are sending the trains out fast, but it could be even faster if they let us by the air gates. Anyway, you get on the ride, and of course you launch backwards first of all into the first spike, which you can see, hang on, just behind me there, the first spike. I was on 5th row, I think I said, 4th or 5th row there. Hang on, you've got the backwards row, which was, I was on 4th row, there you go. You've got the backwards row right on the back of the train, which faced the other way, and then I was on the row one behind that, one in front of that, what am I talking about, one in front of that. But yeah, you head up that first spike first of all, and you launch straight through the station again, which is really a snappy launch, arguably snappier than Icons at Pleasure Beach. Straight through there, and then you sort of bank to the left, and then you head into the first inversion just over there, come round, and then you head into the spike just by the Jaguar Shrine. Yeah, really good ride. And then of course you head back round and do the whole layout backwards again, or if you're on the back row, then you'll do the layout forwards. So depends what row you're on. I haven't unfortunately done the back row yet. I've had 2 rides and I've booked it on the same device, and I've just booked a 3rd now as well. So I'm not too sure about the one ride situation. Maybe it's just my phone a glitch, but at the minute I am booking multiple rides on one device, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, overall a really good ride. The restraints a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not the keenest on vest restraints, but the swarms over at Thorpe Park are actually really comfortable. So maybe once these are worn in a bit and multiple people have used them as the months and years go on, I think they'll become a lot more comfier. But overall the train design is really nice as well. You've got the mandrel heads in the middle of the train and the hands sort of gripping them as well. It does look really nice. Overall it's a brilliant coaster. Also wanted to mention in the station, before you launch out, they've got a lighting sequence and also a sound sequence, which is really nice. And when you park back up, and I think there's like a voiceover saying you've got to escape. A really well themed station, but unfortunately you don't really get to appreciate that because you're not standing in the air gate, so hopefully you can get that situation sorted. Overall, Mandrel Mayhem is a brilliant ride. I rode it both right and on the left as well. It's hard to decide which side I like best because to me they feel pretty much the same. I did enjoy the left side quite a bit because you got more not hang time, but when you went up that spike section just there, you felt more on the edge on the left, which I quite liked. But overall, it's a brilliant coaster. 1.2 meter height restriction for that. The kids will really enjoy it, and if that's your first inversion coaster, it really is fantastic and really gets you into the coaster mood. That inversion you take so slowly when going backwards, it really does feel really nice. Because there's not many coasters in the UK that you go through inversions slowly like that, so you get a lot of hang time on that first inversion. But overall, it's a really good ride, definitely recommend it. And the queue time that I've just put in my phone now is 2 hours, so it's got quite a long virtual queue, but I'd rather be waiting that on my phone than waiting it physically in the queue. But overall, Mandrel Mayhem is a great coaster here in the area. With that said, I'm going to head to Ostrich Stampede and have my first ride on this SBF Visa flat ride in the area. Right here towards the front of the area, you've got Ostrich Stampede, a spinny, jumpy, flat ride just to the left, manufactured by SBF Visa. 30-minute queue, quite long for this. However, it is opening day, and you can see there's overhead restraint model as well. And yeah, it looks quite fast and thrilling actually from off-ride, which is interesting, because usually with these sort of flat rides, theme parks like to run them on a lower intensity cycle. But yeah, here's the main sign for it. It looks really nice actually. That branding and the ostrich on the side, with a sort of corrugated metal behind it. Of course, you've got the ride access queue pass, and also the main queue. And yeah, in this queue you should actually get some good views of Mandrill Mayhem coming around that corner and into the second sort of boost launch. Here's the height requirements, 1.2 meters for Ostrich Stampede. And yeah, it looks like a really nice ride actually. You've got the operator's box here, which is nicely themed as well. And also on the actual cars for the ride, you've got the little ostrich head popping out. Looks a bit like a dinosaur, but it is an ostrich. Here it comes. I wasn't lying when I said you get good views here in the Ostrich Stampede queue. As it goes up, its spike just there, and it'll come round it backwards. Yeah, the sun's gone in a bit now, unfortunately. Just see the grey clouds. Whatever the weather though, Mandrel Mayhem just look really nice. And it's brightly green colour scheme as well. Didn't really talk about that. It's got a nice bright colour scheme, which is nice here in the UK. We don't really get many brightly coloured coasters. After about 10 minutes, they're off. It takes them quite a long time to get everyone checked and secure on here. 3 seats per car. Looks quite fast actually, to be fair.
I don't want to go on this video.
Similar to the likes of what you get at a fun fair. But I just want to talk about the floor here as well. We've got a really nice resin floor in the queue line, and then it transitions to like rocks, which is nice. All this flooring, attention to detail. But yeah, the ride system looks really new, as it should. Only just opened. Nice and smooth, not as loud as the fun fair ones either. Like the that you normally get. This is just a light little if you know what I mean. You know, the different arms. I think they could have done a bit of a better job with the actual egg in the middle. I think that looks a bit, it looks a bit odd. Like you wouldn't really tell that that's an egg. It just looks like a ball on top. Yeah, I like the little ostrich heads detailing on top of the cars. Looks quite fast actually for a little fun fair ride. 1.2 meters, as I said earlier. Manufactured by SBF Visa. I'll talk about SBF Visa a little bit later on in the video. Interesting manufacturer for a theme park and a big company such as Merlin. If that's the end of the cycle, that was very short. Is that it? Oh, I think that was literally it. So I've just had a ride on Ostrich Stampede, and I cannot deny the fact that that was absolutely rubbish. It went up, span around, that was it, went off. The ride staff acted like nothing had happened, and we're like, yeah, thanks for riding, there you go. I mean, that type of ride is called a frog hopper ride. Had no hopping at all, no hopping action, just a frog sort of sliding along. I mean, it was rubbish really. You know, and the fact that the ride staff acted like nothing happened and just got us off. I mean, I would have expected really to stay on the ride, or engineers come, then get us back out of the queue line. Engineers come, fix the hopping mechanism, fix the hydraulics, and then for us to come back on. I mean, the fact that they let us off like nothing had happened and we queued 20 minutes for it, I think that's a little bit shambles in my opinion. They acted like nothing had happened. So this is... So a ride there on Ostrich Stampede, and I cannot deny the fact that that was absolutely rubbish. It went up, the hydraulics went up, span around. I was expecting any minute for it to start jumping up and down. Of course, that ride model is called a frog hopper ride. You see it at fun fairs quite often. However, here at Chessington, it is a permanent model manufactured by SBF Visa. And yeah, no hopping action at all on that. It was literally just a frog sliding down, I don't know, a slide or something. Literally went up, span around, that was it. And the fact that really annoyed me on that is that everyone acted like it was normal. All the ride staff were like, thanks for riding, and just let us off. If there was a problem with it, which it is because it's down at the minute, tech services are on site fixing it, they should have got us back out into the queue line, waited for tech services to fix it, and then when they'd fixed it, brought us back onto the ride to experience it. The fact that they let us off and acted like nothing happened, I'm a little bit annoyed by that, because that was not what that ride has to offer. We just literally went up, span around, and you could tell people were frustrated because they knew that's what the ride is not meant to be like that, because they've seen it from off-ride in the queue. But yeah, it annoyed me a bit by that. That's the only thing that's annoyed me here at the World of Jumanji, them just letting us off, because now I'm going to have to get back in the queue for that, and I'm going to have to queue another 20 minutes. The throughputs on there are not good at all. It takes ages to get people on, get people off, buckle them in, push them down, get the restraints down and everything. It does take them a really long time. But nonetheless, nonetheless, Ostrich Stampede, you've seen some footage of it, and when it's working, it looks like quite a good ride. So I'll head back on there a little bit later on, but before that, my time slot has come for Mandrel Mayhem. Let's head back on this beauty. Yeah, interesting ride experience on Ostrich Stampede, but my time slot has come to ride Mandrel Mayhem once again, my third ride of the day just there. And yeah, gonna head back on this and then get some food from the food outlet in this area, and then probably head back on Ostrich Stampede if it's working on the correct cycle. But also a quick note in this area as well, there's no toilet facilities as well, so you do have to head out the area and head to Dragon's Fury just over there where the toilets are. Which maybe they should have built toilets in this area, but to be honest, it's quite a compact area. Things are quite on top of each other. Like, you've got this main area here, then you've got the flat ride 1, flat ride 2, and the main coaster that loops around the exterior of the area. But yeah, toilet facilities, could have built some in the area, but really you just got to walk out there and they're right there, so it's not too bad. But yeah, let's head on Mandrel Mayhem. Yeah, it looks like the queue's gone down since earlier as well, so shouldn't be waiting too long. I do like the virtual queuing system as well, as long as you're not limited to one ride a day. Yeah, just had a front row ride there on Mandrel Mayhem. Absolutely brilliant, honestly. It's a great ride here at Chessington. A little bit rougher on the front row actually. Through some of these transitions going backwards, a little bit jolty, but nonetheless it's a perfect family ride in addition here to Chessington. Definitely recommend the front row, even though it's a bit more jolty, a little bit more rougher. Towards that spike section there by the Jaguar Shrine, you get some amazing hang time on the edge of the seat. Sit at the edge of the seat and you'll get some really, really good hang time. It'll still be good towards the inner seat, but the outer seat is really the place to be. But yeah, thanks to the people who let me go on front row. Literally, I think I was one behind the front row, and I asked these people if I could go on the front, and they let me, so very kind of them. But next I'm going to head on one of the SBF Visa flat rides here in the area, and this one actually seems to be operating its full cycle. Yeah, Mamba Strike just here with a huge sort of cobra structure there towards the back of the ride, the backdrop. Very nicely themed. Of course, SBF Visa do a lot of these flat rides, and we don't really have a lot of their flat rides in the UK. I'll talk about who and what SBF Visa do a little bit later on in the video, and why I don't think it was the perfect sort of addition here to Chessington. But still, nice that they've got flat rides. Alton Towers, take some notes. But with all that said, let's head on Mamba Strike. You can see Mamba Strike there from a side-on view, and the fantastic theming of the Cobra just there. I actually saw this going into place a few weeks ago. If you want to see the construction and the build-up of this area, go and check out the construction video I filmed quite a few weeks back, might be even a few months back now. But yeah, I filmed all of that, and you can see the land being built up and how it is now. It's a huge contrast. But yeah, just talking about SBF Visa, well, it's a company that manufacture many different flat rides. They're not really well known here in the UK because they're not a huge manufacturer like B&M, which manufacture the coaster here in the area. SBF Visa aren't as big and probably aren't as reliable as other manufacturers such as Mack and B&M and all the other rides. Intamin do some really good flat rides, either the gyro swing model, probably one of the most popular and famous. Yeah, SBF Visa, they've decided to go with SBF Visa for two of their flat rides here in the World of Jumanji. And while I love the flat rides, I don't think SBF Visa was particularly the best manufacturer to go for. I mean, we've seen over the past few days with the annual pass day, the media day, they aren't the most reliable. They've been breaking down constantly, especially Ostrich Stampede. I mean, that ride that I just had on it was atrocious, really. This has been breaking down constantly as well today. It's even already got some scratches on the back of it, which is a bit of a shame. When you've got this fantastic coaster, this great quality coaster in the area, and then you've got these two flat rides, and while they do look great, I'm really, a bit concerned about the reliability in the future. It's opening day, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, but if I come here next season and they're still experiencing reliability issues, I'll be a little bit worried about the longevity of these rides. But nonetheless, nice to see they've got some flat rides here in the area, so we'll head on to Mamba Strike. Psst. Just been on Mamba Strike here, the SBF Visa Top Dancer ride, and yeah, really enjoyed it actually. Goes quite fast over the top, and you get some really good views of Mandrel Mayhem and the main spike towards the Jaguar Shrine. Is it the best manufacturer, and is it the most popular manufacturer? No, not by any means. But is it a good ride to have here in Jumanji, a good filler ride? Yes, definitely. The restraints are really overly bulky, and the seatbelt is like the ones that you get in a car. And the seats are really plasticky, by the way. Hurts your bum and legs a bit, to be honest. But yeah, it's an alright ride to have. It feels a little bit shaky at points, a little bit squeaky as well. But nonetheless, it's a good ride here in the World of Jumanji, a good filler attraction for the main roller coaster itself. But yeah, SBF Visa, good ride, not the most popular manufacturer, but they keep doing rides on this scale. Yeah, I think many UK theme parks will purchase them. Good manufacturer, and also I do like the theme in the Cobra behind it as well, which looks really nice. Cobra, I don't know what it is, Mamba. And yeah, over here on the fencing as well, you also got the detailings of the snakes on there as well, not just these. It's these little details that make a big difference. But yeah, the SBS Visa Top Dancer, just by the exit of Mandrill Mayhem. And yeah, it's a good little ride, not the biggest manufacturer, but this ride of theirs is quite fun and it goes over the top quite well. I'm interested to see how the reliability of this ride goes, because so far it's been breaking down a lot, having a lot of downtime, so it'll be interesting to see how both the SBF Visa rides here in the area stack up a few months later. With that said, we're going to head over back to Ostrich Stampede, get back on that, and also check out, perfect timing, some of the food options. Yeah, we only waited around 5 to 10 minutes for that as well. As with Ostrich Stampede, the throughput's not that great. It takes them quite a long time to get people on there, buckle them in, and they're experiencing a few technical delays with like the restraints. They have to like manually lock them or something. So yeah, these two flat rides will be interesting to see, as I said, how they stack up maybe next season and how reliable they are for this area. But so far, the coaster just here, Mandrel Mayhem, has been really reliable today. Hasn't had any downtime. A little bit of downtime at the start of the day, about 20 past 10. But from there, really, it's just been really reliable, which is great to see. Yeah, all the theming in this area, all of the flooring as well. Haven't really mentioned it much. You know me, I like the floor. And yeah, they've got all the track sort of that's left from the Jeep and all the footprints here as well. And also all of the theming, like the barrels you got around the area as well. It looks really nice. You've got a huge hippo over there. If you watch the Jumanji movie, you know where that's from. Someone gets eaten. Go and watch the Jumanji movie and you'll know where that hippo's from. Who remembers who gets eaten? Let me know in the comments down below. Gets eaten by that hippo. But yeah, the area is really nice. And let's head back on Ostrich Stampede and see whether it's jumping up and down like it's meant to. So yeah, back in the queue here for Ostrich Stampede. As you can see, it's just finished its cycle there, and it's back up and bouncing as it should. Tech Services has fixed it, which is great to see. But I'll show you the view up from the queue line, because you get a really good view of the area from up here in the Ostrich Stampede queue line. I'll show you now. The World of Jumanji. And yeah, I love how this area has loads of trees like all around, because Vampire's literally behind those trees, but it sort of segregates itself from the other areas of the park, which is how it's meant to be. Like Jumanji's in a forest, the movie's set in a forest, and yeah, this area is just away from the rest of the theme park. As soon as you step in this area, you're transported to the World of Jumanji. But yeah, it looks like there's barely any queue for Ostrich Stampede. I can't believe what happened last time. Literally flying around like the flying Dumbos. Even the flying Dumbos over in the main Chessington Park bounce up and down. I mean, these we had nothing. Literally flying around like flying saucers. Here comes Mandrel Mayhem again. Yeah, I love the trains for this. I love the mandrills in the middle as well. They're really nicely themed. And look at all this theming around here in the queue line as well. Just had a ride there on Ostrich Stampede, and yeah, it was much better than my first ride. At least we had some bouncing action on there. Very smooth bounces, I must say. If you've ever been to the fun fair and you've been on one of those frog hopper rides, then you'll know that they go like and yeah, usually the fun fair ones have a lap bar, so you're sort of all squished up with your family or friends, and you're like really close together. But with that, it's over the head restraints, and you're like in singular seats, so you don't squish up or anything. It's a lot more comfier, but it's more funny, you know, at the fun fairs, you know, when you're bouncing up and down and stuff. But nonetheless, it's a really good ride, much more smoother bounces as well. You can tell that's brand new, really smooth. Overall, it does what it says on the tin. SBF Visa, once again, same manufacturer as the Top Dancer, and yeah, really enjoyed my ride on that actually. Very smooth. The kids loved it as well, loads of screaming in that, and I think that's way more fun than the Top Dancer. The Top Dancer I think is more for smaller children, but that is very fun, very intense, 1.2 meter height restriction. Enjoyed it, says what it does in the tin, and a nice little filler ride for World of Jumanji. With that said, let's go over to Ripsaw and see what food they do, and you'll see why I call it Ripsaw in a minute. Ripsaw has been reborn, unfortunately not at Alton Towers, but here at Chessington. The truck, the front of this shipping container here, was actually the truck and this was used for the operating box of Ripsaw Alton Towers, a previous top spin ride that used to be there. It's now been removed and replaced for Funk and Fly at Alton Towers, unfortunately. But yeah, here's the menu for the Jumanji food supplies, and it's nice how they've actually reused this truck. I thought this has been scrapped ages ago, but it seems that Merlin have kept it and used it for World of Jumanji. Nice to see that they're recycling stuff, and a little hint to Ripsaw at Alton Towers. But here's the menu for the Jumanji food supplies. Giant turkey leg, £14. Wow, 14. Wow, okay, 14. Okay. Foot long pork hot dog, £13.50 for a hot dog. Wow. God, vegan hot dog, £13.50 I think that said. That's the size of the chicken leg that you're getting, but £14, bit pricey. Of course, that's without Merlin Pass discount as well. Depends what you like. I don't really like hot dogs or the giant turkey leg. I won't get anything like that. I'll probably just get a cake. Jungle Stampede, soft drinks, £2.90. It's quite expensive, but that's not with the Merlin Pass discount, so you get 20% or 10% off these prices. But I'll show you the what they've got here. That's the giant turkey leg. And these are the cakes here as well. Yeah, quite nice. Those are similar to the cakes that they do at Curse at the Manor. Nice to see Merlin and Aramark doing this together. Because Aramark, they've got a bad reputation at the minute, but with what we've seen at the minute, it looks like they're working to improve it in conjunction with Merlin. Alton Towers Curse of the Manor food's really nice, and yeah, even though it's quite expensive here, at least they're doing some good quality stuff. Like, I've heard good things about the giant turkey leg, and I've actually tried a cake earlier today, and it was very, very nice. I'll show you a picture of it now. And yeah, I had the icing, I had a vanilla one and also a chocolate one. Really nice. The icing and buttercream was really nice. I'm like a cake expert nowadays, aren't I? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the World of Jumanji. You're gonna leave it for a bit and come back a little bit later on before it closes, get another ride on Mandrill Mayhem, see if I can get that back row that I've been wanting all day. But the area is really nice. You've got all these little signs as well. All these are nicely themed. Oh, touch that, it nearly felt like it was going to fall off then. But yeah, the area is really nicely themed. Bit worried about this bark, it's all coming off here. Put that back in. But yeah, really nice area, really nicely done. With this area, it gives me high hopes for the future of Merlin and all their theme parks. If this is the standard that we're seeing, what do we have to look forward to for Project Horizon, for example, at Thorpe Park, and Project Exodus at Thorpe Park Resort? You know, high hopes for these. All the theming that they've done in this area is brilliant, and it shows that you can theme up a family coaster and it can make it that more immersive, as we've seen with this area. But in terms of the virtual queuing system as well, for Mandrill Mayhem, it's been really good today. It hasn't been capped to one ride. I've been able to get 4 rides on it today, which is great. I'll make that 5 a little bit later on, but it shows that it's not been capped. I love the virtual queuing system. At first I was very speculative about it, but now that they've opened it up to more than one ride, you can get really how many rides you want on it a day and not have to queue much for it. I've only queued probably about 10 minutes, 20 minutes today. So yeah, just had another ride on Mandrill Mayhem, and I think I'm going to clock my total ride up to about 6 today. It's 5:30, the park closes at 5, and literally as I went in, right, I scanned the QR code for my previous ride, came in, and it was nearly 5 o'clock, so I thought they wouldn't allow you to book. So I booked another one. I thought, why not? Let me book another one. By the time I come off this, it'll be past 5 o'clock, past closing, so they probably won't allow me on, but I might as well book it, do you know what I mean? And then, yeah, I went to the front entrance. All of the entrances roped up. I showed them. I was like, I've got another pre-booking here. Will you let me in? And he let me in. So here we go. I'm the last rider on Mandrill Mayhem for opening day. Look, no one else. I don't think anyone else is going to join the queue line because I've used that now. You can't book anymore. So yeah, a nice little surprise for me. Nice end to the day here at World of Jumanji, being the last rider. So yeah, I'll head on, see if I can, maybe talk to them, get a back row ride on it. That would really top the day. But I'm just glad I get another ride on it, to be honest. After 5 rides on Mandrel Mayhem today, I can finally give my overall review of this brilliant coaster. And I tell you what, I've had so many rides on it today, going forwards, backwards, multiple rows. Unfortunately today, I didn't manage to get the backwards row, but hopefully, fingers crossed, one day at Chessington I'll strike luck and get on the back row, the backwards row. A bit like Swarm Face It Backwards that they did quite a few years ago at Thorpe Park, but that was an upcharge. Here at Chessington, if you want to do the backwards row, essentially you just have to strike luck and basically get the maths right and go to the back. But yeah, you can't, you know, if you ask for it, they're going to say no, because it's only one at the back of the train, only four seats at the back of the train, so you just have to sort of strike luck with that. Talking of striking luck, I managed to get on before after the closing time of Mandrill Mayhem. Literally showed them the QR code that I booked like 5 minutes before it shut, and yeah, they let me on. So hats off to the Chessington team for letting me on. Made my ride count to 5 today, and honestly, this coaster is a brilliant family coaster. It's the perfect addition. I don't think they could have hit the nail harder really here at Chessington. John Burton and the fantastic Merlin's creative team have done a brilliant job at constructing this overall land, but also this brilliant B&M coaster. I was about to say Mac there. B&M coaster. It really is great. It's a wing coaster, one of 2 here in the UK. Swarm's lost the title of the only one now because we've got one here at Chessington. It's the world's first and only shuttle coaster by B&M, and it really is a really good ride. It includes one inversion that you go through twice during the ride course layout, plenty of theming around. You can see here some sticks that they've got around this area as well. You can get a photo on all of the rows except from the back row. Unfortunately, they don't do photos at the time of recording this. In terms of the actual coaster itself, it can feel a little bit jolty during some points. Coming out the first inversion is one of those prime spots where, especially on front row, you can really feel the jolt. And even coming through this section just here, it can feel a little bit jolty at some points. However, it is a really good ride and I can't fault that. A few of the highlights for me during this ride is going up the Jaguar Shrine. You get some sort of sideways hang time, which is a really great feeling. Something that you can't get on other coasters here in the UK. The inversion as well is really, really great, and for many, that'll be their first inverting coaster. Mandrel Mayhem is the perfect addition to Chessington. It's manufactured by B&M, one of the best in the business. They do quality roller coasters and quality attractions, and it's great to see one down here at Chessington World of Adventures. In terms of the actual queue line for Mandrel Mayhem then, it's really well themed. All of the fencing around's got little detailings on. You've got the Jeep just before you enter the station as well, which is really nicely done. What I don't like though is having this green metal fence all around the perimeter of the actual track for the ride. I think that's really unthemed. However, saying that, they've got all these plants as well, which should hopefully grow up and cover that over time. But with that said, that's me really picking at things. This is a fantastic addition to Chessington. The queue line, you're not really waiting in it that long. Probably waited maximum 20 minutes today because all of that is done on the virtual queue in itself. Mandrel Mayhem, get yourselves down here, check it out. It's a brilliant roller coaster to this park. Yeah, just had to move there because the engineers want to get on the second launch there to close the ride. But yeah, with all that said, if you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing. Plenty more on the way for you. And if you've got this far in the vlog, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good day. But yeah, with that said, get yourselves down here to World of Jumanji. They've got 3 incredible rides and an incredible roller coaster to complement this fantastic park. With that said, I'll see you in the next video, and get yourselves down here to ride Mandrel Mayhem. See you in the next one.